Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about Game 58 of the regular season, where the Astros lose 7-3 to the Florida Marlins. And there's a lot to get into, so let's just get this started. Luis Garcia was not great. He would have a pretty bad first inning, giving up a pair of home runs. He would have a bad fifth inning, giving up 3 runs, another home run. He gave up 3 homers tonight. Positives. Outside of the homers, he wasn't giving up much hard contact, but that's sort of yeah, you were doing good when you weren't giving up home runs, which is just sort of an odd thing to say. He did get 7 strikeouts. He only walked 2 batters, but I'm not going to say he was good tonight. He was clearly struggling, but I don't know. The Marlins have an underrated lineup. I'm not saying that makes sense of why they would, absolutely just home run derby off of him, but I do think the Marlins have an underrated lineup, so let's not act like this is against a bottom feeder of the league. This is a team that's, I would say, middle of the pack and has nights where they can explode offensively. Phil Maton came in. He would pitch an inning and 2/3, give up a pair of runs. He would strike out 3, which is a positive, only walking 1, but would also give up a home run. Brian Abreu came in. He had 2 solid innings of work. Nothing to complain about there. 3 strikeouts. Brian Abreu having maybe a revenge tour. That'd be neat. And Hector Neris would come in for the 9th inning. He was fine. The pitching was not great. 7 runs in a game is not going to win you a lot. 5 runs out of your starting pitcher who couldn't make it through the 5th is not going to win you much. However, I'm really not going to pick at the pitching tonight because I think the main issue kind of is offense. We have been talking about the same freaking issue for months. It's going to be a year pretty soon. Like, you don't think about it, but we're going to approach a year pretty soon for this issue, and it just hasn't gone away. It was the same issue that we had the last time we faced Jorge Soler in a series. The trees are speaking Vietnamese, which is runners in scoring position and not being able to do anything when you get them on base. 11 men left on base for the Astros tonight. 2 for 16 with runners in scoring position. We do not have a good approach to the plate right now. And we have had a not wonderful approach to the plate since last year. Since the playoffs of last year, since before the playoffs leading into them last year, we've had an issue with runners in scoring position. We have a fundamental issue going to the plate. And I don't like calling for coaches or people to be fired. I just don't like doing that. But man, if Alex Cintron's position isn't a little bit on the hot seat, I don't know, man. Dusty's been fine this year managing. Yeah, he's had some issues with the lineup, but overall, I haven't had a lot to complain about. I just don't think we're taking a good enough approach to the plate. It feels like we continue as an organization and as a lineup, to want to play hero ball. And I don't know what you have to do to get it through to the team. We don't have to. Alex Bregman, I want to say it was in like the 7th inning, had the bases loaded and would end up just making an out where we wouldn't get anything with it because it was bases loaded. And you could tell he took the approach that he was trying to hit it over the fence. And it feels like this season, a lot of times, we take the approach to the plate that we want to hit it over the fence. We want to hit home runs. And look, we're heading towards a 3-true outcome sport of baseball. Let's not kid ourselves. You can debate whether that's good or bad. That's a different video altogether. But we swing for the fences too often, and we just don't need to. We have an incredible lineup, one of the best in the league. You don't have to play hero. You can pass it to the next guy, and it just is frustrating because, yeah, Bregman, all he has to do is just get on base, a single, and then you pass it to Yordan Alvarez. He passes it to Kyle Tucker. He passes it, granted he's having a bit of a down year, but he had an okay night tonight. But then pass it to Yuli Gurriel, to then pass it to Pena, to then pass it to McCord. You see what I'm getting at here? We have too good of a lineup top to bottom to go 2 for 16 with runners in scoring position. And I don't know what needs to change, but we've got to do something because this is just... Games like this happen quite frequently for the Astros, and yeah, sometimes the pitching bails you out of it, but other times you get stinkers like this. And the offense, that was the thing. We had hits. We had 11 hits tonight. We had bright spots. Michael Brantley had a home run. He had a pair of hits tonight and also a pair of walks. Professional hitter and on-base getter, Michael Brantley. Yordan Alvarez had 3 hits, which is barely worth talking about at this point because it's just what he does. I think he had 3 hard hit balls every time he made contact, over 100. He is genuinely hitting the cover off the ball, and it is a sight to behold. Kyle Tucker had a nice base hit. He also would draw a walk. Yuli had a double and a walk. Like, we had good offense. We just would get them on and then stop. So overall, my notes for the game, it was frustrating. It wasn't great. Turn the page. We're back at it tomorrow, and it's an earlier game, 4:10 Eastern, 3:10 Central. We're going to send Framber Valdez to the mound, and the Marlins send Braxton Garrett to the mound, who I believe has one start this season. So hopefully we can try to tee off on him. Again, that's at 4:10 Eastern, 3:10 Central, and I'll be here afterwards to talk about it. But that's all I have for the evening, so thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and as always, go Astros.